Hello and welcome to the Soulmate Twin Flame Catalytic Partnership briefing. This is a precursor to the 1111 Divine Lovers series. This is just a briefing of the energies for the month. I'll continue the sermon over in the temple. That's a website for those who are not local. And you can just find that link in the show notes. I'm just going to let you know right now. I'll probably mention it twice or thrice more. I had some technical difficulties, so the cards are already ready. We're using The Tarot of the Sun and Moon by Vanessa Descourt. She is Belgian, I believe. She's like a children's artist, like a illustrator for children's like books and stuff like that. So she's great. She's working on another deck. This is a deck that's a few years old, Tarot of the Sun and Moon. It is phenomenal. So I'm just gonna jump right in. I'll do the briefing throughout the reading. I have energy running through me. The messages are already here. Okay, so let's get on up in here. So first we have the Empress. Okay, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, and we have the Princess of Swords. And we have the Prince of Wands. It's an 11, I'm going to pull 11 cards. And then in the sermon it's another 11 because it's the 1111 Divine Lovers series. So Seven of Swords. That's the conflict on the feminine side. Queen of... Actually, that's the sacrifice to be made on the feminine side. Queen of Wands on the masculine side. And that's the conflict. Nine of Pentacles on the feminine side. Conflict as well. Six of Swords, sacrifice to be made on the masculine side. Ten of Wands, focus on the feminine. Seven of Pentacles. That's the focus on the masculine, and the combined shared energy for the connection, the partnership this month is La Torre, the Tower. It's a beautiful deck. Okay. So, let's see here. We're coming into the month. The energy we enter the month in on the masculine side. Since the moon is new in Aquarius, that's a masculine sign. Last month I talked to the Divine Feminine. Next month I'll talk directly to the Divine Feminine. So my findings and my guidance go directly to the Divine Masculine, and the way that I run this is, I believe in the two snakes, okay, or the two twins, and them returning to each other, but always combining at the crown and combining at the root. So when they're at other chakras or other energy centers, they're always going back into union. So since this is a masculine month, where the sun is always to the right in the conscious, the moon is always to the left in the subconscious, and since the moon and the sun right now are both in Aquarius, I record the 1111 Divine Lover series on the new moon. The masculine will be on the right side. Next month, the feminine will be on the right side, and the month after that, we return to the masculine, etc., etc. And it's the same thing. Divine feminine 1 month, divine masculine 1 month, and you'll know the cycle because the cycle starts at the full moon. In terms of the love readings that I do 2 love readings a month. Revolving door at the full moon, that's releasing mostly karmic relationships, and the 1111 Divine Lovers series, which is the accepting, the starting, the planting the seeds, and the blossoming of the lotus, if you would, the beginning of the blossom of the lotus, if you would, and that's on the new moon. And again, this is the briefing. You can click through to the excuse me, I'm trying to get these messages out. I have a lot of energy running through me. You can click the sermon, the extended analysis and commentary in the show notes, okay? So, or just go over to vertexofabundance.org. In the menu, you'll see Oracle. When you hover over that, you'll notice that there's the Revolving Door, which is not this series, and the 1111 Divine Lover series, which is this series. And that'll be there. Okay, so let's get in here. So we enter in the month with this Four of Pentacles. That's on the masculine side. It's responded to the feminine by this Nine of Pentacles, and she is mirroring it by this Princess of Swords. So Four of Pentacles, we're entering the month with the masculine holding on to something. Again, you do not need to be male assigned at birth to embody the masculine role. Oftentimes at the nodal shift, if it's a true twin, soulmate, catalytic energy, they'll kind of shift the roles according to the nodes. So the masculine will be embodying the masculine energy, since the north node is in a masculine sign. So the masculine here is holding on to something, probably the work that they need to do. They're probably looking to build, they're making some type of energetic investment in some type of, power. They're investing in their power. They're investing in their spiritual power, really. It's not a spiritual thing because it's pentacles, but they're trying to perfect their self. They're working on some type of financial thing. And that's really what's going on. That's the energy we enter in the month. So the masculine's focusing on themselves. They're holding on. They're keeping shut. They're not sharing their emotions. They're not sharing their plans. They're not sharing their thoughts. And the masculine is going out on a journey. The feminine, is going on a journey to understand or to gain some clarity. Maybe even have a conversation. And, I think she finally finds a strategy. The feminine, find a strategy, a way out of the situation, because they're stuck in a burden. I can see the focus for the feminine this month is that 10 of Wands. The focus for the masculine is that 7 of Pentacles, related to that 4 of Pentacles. So they are slowly but surely doing their work, trying to manifest something here. They have a vision, the masculine, with that Queen of Wands in the conflict, challenge, obstacle. So the obstacle for them is that they have a need to feel effusive, and their spiritual body is what needs attention, and they will be driving forward and making progress in that level with this Prince of Wands here supporting. The feminine has a major arcana, the Empress, on their side, and the masculine has no major arcana. There is the Tower, La Torre, shared in the combined energy. And whenever I see a court card, specifically Sun and Moon, meaning specifically King or Queen, being supported by a same suit or same grade, meaning a queen with another queen, or a queen or a king with a page or knight, that to me is a major arcana. The way that I read, I'm not going to go into deep explanation since it's fire suit. It would be Venus in a fire sign, Venus dealing incarnation and perfecting the self. If you need specifics, you got to talk to me later about that. So Mr. School is what I'm saying. So this is Venus in a fire sign. That would be the strength card. Okay, Ka is the tone, Sekhmet is the deity here. That's what's going on. So somebody is waking up, somebody's finding their power here. And, 7 of Pentacles meaning is spiritual perfection in the material plane. And 4 plus 7 equals 11, so that's the Knight of Pentacles. And all the Pentacles go with the Chariot, all of the Knight cards go with the Chariot. The Prince cards, they go with the Chariot or the Tower. They're both a vibration of 7. Chariot being the Alpha 7, Alpha Master 7, the Tower being the Omega Master 7. So we have the Tower here in the central energy, and there's a hidden Prince, and there's a Prince of Wands here on the board. So 2 princes make the Chariot. So there's a hidden 7 energy, Master 7. And 7 is the number of spiritual perfection, finding your power in the physical. So that's really the obstacle and the burden on the feminine side, is almost as if she's carrying the burden for 2 people, carrying the load for 2 people, or waiting on another person, beginning to feel betrayed. That's not how we leave the month. Because the masculine, they're what they're focusing on right now, and it's a little bit of a conflict. And friction and heat and conflict, which is, heat. Conflict is friction and heat. Conflict is really 2 people in the same vicinity. You may be at opposed needs, and you're not when you're in love, and even that can create friction, which is typically what you need in a soulmate situation, twin flame, catalytic, otherwise, because that's going to help spiritual growth, spiritual evolution. So the feminine is looking for securement in themselves, and they have their back turned There's two cards in, their backs turned twice. And it started out with the masculine and their back turned, but the second card, they turned straight towards the future. And it's funny because this supporting energy in that card, that Cheetah, which oftentimes can talk about, that's good positive magic. Cheetah's a good positive magic. Also, you know, if we're talking about Sekhmet, I'm an indigenous practitioner, so that would bring in Saturn energy. You know, Sekhmet is Saturn plus Venus together. A lot of people think it's Venus and Mars, not so much. That would come in as a lion, it wouldn't come in as a cheetah. So this is, I'm hearing a lot of ancient people, ancestral magic here. So it feels like there's a lot of strengthening happening on the masculine side to me. They're finally coming correct. They're getting themselves together, getting ready to. And so they turn their back away. They turn forward towards the future. Then they turn their back away again. And the focus now, they're in that 7 of Pentacles. So they're looking for something. They're trying to perfect themselves. And the feminine is like, dude, I'm carrying a load for 2 of us. You got to come correct. You got to let me know what's up. And I'm also hearing that the feminine may turn her back and work on her own self. I feel like it might be a business that she's trying to start, or they are trying to start. And you know, I'm seeing in here, both of these people seem a little bit focused on not so much money. We do have 3 Pentacles cards here, but like industry, finance, work, hustle. It seems like they're on the grind. I'm hearing that song, steady on the grind, money on my mind, 'cause I got to make it happen. Ain't nobody gonna do it for me. I have not warmed up my voice box today, no matter, no worries. That's Erykah Badu, steady on the grind. Yep. Oh, whoa, oh, whoa. I'm hearing the song. Steady on the grind, money on my mind. Okay, so this is it. They're focusing on their grind, on their hustle. Well, I don't mind that, except the feminine here feels a little bit burdened. So unless she's about to hire some employees, which could happen. I mean, I'm really deviating from the love here, but I do see that she feels burdened. Okay, I keep calling the feminine she. Normally, the practice in this reading is to call the feminine they. I realize there's non-binary and non-cisgendered and non-traditional relationships. Okay, you know, heterosexual, otherwise, even polyamorous. I'm down with everything, don't worry. I can work with everything. So one thing I'm hearing is that some of the stress to get back to this relationship for the connection for the feminine will be to delegate. And that's going to be the strategy that they need to break out and break free. Because what I'm being told is that the feminine is sending some energy to the masculine. So since the feminine feels stressed with what they're trying to accomplish and the masculine feels stressed with what they're trying to define in themselves, there's an issue. It feels like the feminine already knows who they are and they're doing some work stuff, and when they delegate at work, the feminine will have their energies freed up, because the same energy hits the connection and then each person deals with it a little bit differently. The masculine is going to seek meaning in the external world by what they feel inside, and the feminine is going to take what they feel inside and manifest it outside. But they're usually going to hold an internal vibration and call it in from that vibration that they have on the inside. So basically, the masculine energy is going to take their emotions and use it as their drive. Love, lust, sex, etc. The feminine is going to take their emotions and call it in. Their emotions literally create matter. So I'm seeing that very much. What's going on with the feminine is whatever stress is going on, they're stressed about their hustle. And whatever stress is going on with the masculine, they're trying to find meaning in themselves. They're literally finding out who they are for finally. Finally. So we're leaving the challenge here. We're going on to the focus. The focus on the masculine side, just one more time, is defining. They're making some investments in their time, maybe their money. They're looking to perfect themselves on the material plane. Feminine feels a little bit burdened, probably with work. They are secure in themselves. They're probably self-employed for the most part. Self-employed doesn't mean you don't have a boss. Self-employed just means that you control your schedule, you control your life, you're more of a contractor, you're not necessarily an employee, meaning you work for yourself for the most part, even if you're under a broker or under some type of agency. You know, a lot of real estate people and even one or two employee law firms or interior designers, substitute teachers, all those kinds of energies, those are self-employed too, and those are typically people that have a boss as well. So there's a strong message here that would normally on the outlook look combative. So what I'm seeing is there's some type of truth that needs to come out, because the sacrifice to be made is the masculine's going to have to turn around, face the feminine, and move on from something, leaving something behind. And it typically would usually be moving on to less turbulent emotional waters, but there's no water in this Six of Swords. It's more leaving behind some type of thought, leaving behind some type of belief. And the feminine is going to need to put her swords down. Again, I keep calling the feminine she. So it's just, it's a very strong female energy. So, and I feel like it's breaking free. They need to stop holding on to the exhaustion, the anguish, and the holding up a lot of mental things to keep themselves busy. Because the evolving situation, meaning what we're moving to next month with, she comes into herself. She finally is like, okay, I'm cool. And the Empress is typically, not always, but the Empress does have a lot of abundance. It could own your own business. With that Nine of Pentacles there, you would be owning your own business. Especially if you're the one who's going out on journeys to make decisions on behalf of something. So typically the page or the princess is appointed to deliver a strategy. But there's a lot of work here. And, owning your own business is the 10 of Wands, especially when the 9 of Pentacles is present. So that's why when I'm seeing this Empress, I just see somebody who's finally got rid of her stress, and she turns towards the masculine. And the masculine is actually shown up ready to do whatever, somehow, some way. So this Tower in the middle, understand that the Tower concept and idea of the Tower Major Arcana is one of inciting incidents, an upheaval, unraveling, a breakdown, a disruption of some kind. That's really, you lose your foundation. The bottom falls out from under you. It can be la desgracia, so a disgraceful incident because of improper planning or foolish planning. It also, that's the first concept and idea. The second concept and idea here is zodiac-wise, it would be Mars. Now, if you know the mythology behind it, it would also be Shiva, but Shiva is really Pluto. Pluto comes through in other cards. Now, astrologically, not zodiac, so not on the actual signs of the sky, but the actual energy, it would be Uranus or Saturn. So Mars, we're going to say Mars, because we have two Mars energies here. We also have Saturn here on the female side. So it affects each of them different. So let me read this down. The Tower here is saying that there's going to need to be some shift in the way things are structured. And the way things were structured on the masculine side was they were putting up a block, not a big firm block, but they were fixed on energy moving first before they gave to the connection. And the feminine, they had a structure, probably a work structure, how they did their work. And how they filed this connection away in their mind that had to shift before energy could move through. So they had to restructure this foundation in the connection before things shifted around, and that's what I'm seeing. So this has been the briefing for the Divine Partnerships for February 2018. Again, my name is Priestess Gorgeous. Again, you can check the show notes for a link over to the sermon. I'm going to further analyze this and see what I see if I can give any, those are my findings. I'll be giving my recommendations in the sermon as well. And if I need to give any inspirational message, I will do that as well. You can check the show notes for the link to that, or you can go over to vertexofabundance.org under Oracle in the menu. You will see 1111 Divine Lovers series. I have a lot coming through me right now. I cannot speak English. So let me call these majors out. We have the Tower, the Star card in reverse, the Devil, Spirit of the deck, the Hermit in reverse, Hangman in reverse, the Hierophant, the Empress, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, High Priestess. Oh, they're in the wrong positions. The Justice card and, wow, the Wake Up Call. In the center, the Judgment card. Okay, I need to focus here because I have so much energy coming through this, lots of messages waiting. So I'll see you in the sermon. Check the link in the show notes or go over to vertexofabundance.org/oracle/series. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.